So, hello everyone. Welcome back to another video. I was a goofball yet again, and I didn't record my voice, so I'm giving you a voiceover today. And basically, what I have planned for this video, or what I did plan and did, is setting up Mekanism and getting a transmutation tablet and table. So that's what I should be doing here in a second. Yeah, so sorry about this. I don't know how I didn't notice, to be honest. So um yeah, I'm looking at what I'm needing here. I need an induction smelter too, because I want to set up those alloys. Um but it's oh yeah, also I mentioned that they added Draconic Evolution, which is like a, I believe, an endgame power mod. But I haven't actually played with it myself, so I'm not sure about that. So yeah, that's basically the intro of the video. And I believe we start with Project E. And no, I start out with making good pants, really good pants. My rebounding got leveled down to level 5, which is actually good because rebounding 10 is just annoying. I don't want my enemies to be sent away like extremely far. It's just very inconvenient, and yeah. So that's that. Now we move on to the Project E stuff, and there was some funky stuff going on while I was playing around with this. I don't know why, but my stuff just vanishes basically. Like the Philosopher's Stone just completely vanishes for a second. So I was dead set on making another one. Um, but yeah, as you can see here, here's where it happens. Um, I was trying to make another tablet because I want to put it into the ProjectE system. However, well, one, I was missing the obsidian, and then the Philosopher's Stone didn't even go in. So basically, what I'm doing now, or going to be doing, anything with an EMC value can be put into the ProjectE tablet. You can only put one if you'd like, but you can just put all of it in, and you will gain an EMC value in the transmutation tablet. And basically, what that allows you to do, if you take another item with EMC, such as the red carpet, I can now just get as much red carpet as I like, as long as I have the EMC for it. And that is very simple Project E. So what I'm going to be doing now is basically just going through my ME system and putting anything with EMC into my Project E table. So here, I'm done with putting everything in now. And basically, what I'm going to be doing next should be setting up alloys and such. Let's see. Oh yeah, I try to get into Applied E, which is basically Project E integration for the ME system. However, as you will notice, it is quite the struggle to get this stuff set up. I will try to use the port bus because I thought I could just slap it on a drawer, for example, and then import my stuff, and I thought I'd get EMC value. However, that doesn't happen. So um, I'm probably gonna cut the rest of this for out because honestly, there's no reason to like watch this, it just doesn't work. Because I believe you need the ProjectE module, I think it's called, something like that. And in the end, I'm just not able to make that. So let's yeah, I'm gonna cut this out basically. But actually, I'll leave this in because Eternal's fuel I can make, and this is where the funky stuff happens. My Philosopher's Stone isn't there, and Eternal's fuel is basically like 4 coal and a Philosopher's Stone, and then whatever fuel you get out of that, you put it in again, and then again, and that's how you get Eternal's fuel. And I'm going to cut now. So on to the next section. So moving on from that, I should, I believe, be making the alloys now, or trying to. Here I'm basically just saying that I figured out that you need that module, I believe. Yeah. So let's see. I believe I will be making some metallurgic infusers here. I have one, and I'm going to make some more. I'm also going to make the enrichment chamber, which I'm only missing glass for, luckily. And while I'm doing this, here you can see what you can make with the metallurgic infuser, by the way. So we're going to need one for redstone, diamond dust, or enriched diamond, I guess, and enriched obsidian, and as well carbon. And in this episode, I'm only setting up carbon and redstone. So here we can see I'm making some more. 2 for carbon and 1 for redstone. And there's my ME pattern providers, which we are going to need to automate this. And I'm just going to set it up like usual, just there, put in metallurgic infuser right next to it. And there you go. And the other infuser gets its own pattern provider. The carbon one you can do next to each other, because to get steel, you basically, for the first process, you get enriched carbon, and then you need to put it through another infuser to get some steel dust, and that then needs to be smelted, basically. So I could add a furnace to that setup, but I decided not to. Yeah. So here what I do, I set up some patterns for I believe the export bus. I'm also gonna make one for the import bus. No, I'm doing the import bus first, because we want to import from the second metallurgic infuser. So I set up a piston and a sticky piston as well, because we didn't have those. And now I can just auto-craft them, which is very convenient. So we just put that on the bottom of the machine. Because on top I'm gonna have export buses to get my enriched carbon and enriched redstone in, which you're going to be seeing in a few minutes. So here I'm configuring the inputs and outputs. Basically, I want to auto output to the right on the left machine and input from the left on the right machine. And I want to output to the bottom on the right machine, which is on. And I forgot to put on the auto output, or export, I should say, which means I will notice this later. But basically, my output isn't going to go anywhere if it's not on. So with Mekanism machines, you always want to activate auto output, basically. So here I look at the Mekanism alloys, and as you can see, I need some enriched diamonds, which I'm not going to set up this episode, like I said. Same for this. because that's a whole process for another day. So yeah, I believe I make the export buses now. Let's see what I'm doing here. I put some wireless boosters in because my energy can do that now. And I was fed up with having to go to a specific distance, so now I don't have that problem. Moving on. I believe I make a pattern for the export bus now. Which I only need the export bus pattern as the other stuff I already have. There you go. Just put that into the crafting, auto crafting setup. And I'm going to make 3 export buses here, because we have 3 metallurgic infusers, which all need stuff. And I also make some more pattern providers, because I believe... No, I make one more for the enrichment chamber. I was gonna set up the thing, the other metallurgic infusers, but I decided against it. I was running out of space, and we don't have ME set up on the other side. And for these machines, I'm putting my ender gates for the energy in front, because I want my export buses on top of the machines, so that I can really just export my enriched carbon as well as my enriched redstone right into them from the top. As you can see, I'm putting my enriched carbon in and my enriched redstone. And that is that complete, I believe. And now I make my enrichment chamber. There we go. And with the ME pattern provider, which I made for this guy, I now have that done. And there I can put it on the top because I don't really need any specific stuff for that. I just need redstone and coal, basically. And the bottom I want to set to input and output on all of the machines. As you can see, I've input on the top, which is wrong, actually. It needs to be extra. As you can see, I change it now. That's extra. And the last one is also extra, because it would go... I want it to go into the yellow slots, not the red slot. Because in the yellow slot, you get your redstone... What is it? Slurry? No. Your redstone stuff, or carbon. Now, I decide why do I not have cables set up? So that's what I do. So I'm basically setting up some cable patterns. There we go. So that way I can just make whatever I need again. A lot of pattern crafting gonna be is gonna be still happening. It's just like I said before, it's just needed basically. Because if you want to microcraft everything, you're gonna go crazy one day. So much stuff, you really just want to set up auto crafting. Especially for stuff you need a lot. So, yeah. So there we go. I have my dense smart cables, which I'm just gonna extend all the way across. There. And I believe I just use some regular old cable to, like some regular thin smart cables to connect to the machines, or the ME pattern provider, I should say. Because I don't think I need any with color. The color is basically just to separate them so that they don't connect, which they're not next to each other anyway, so I guess I didn't need to do it earlier, like with the other ones. And I guess you could make it for like clearness, but I decided to not do it here, I think. Yep. Just connect all of them, like usual. There we go. And now I want some fluix cables. And I was gonna connect it to the other cable down there, but then I realized you can just connect it through the ME pattern provider. There you go. That's that done for the top. So now all that's missing is basically the cable. The patterns, I mean. And I'm going to set those up now. Any second. Yep, there we go. So this is going to be a pattern for the furnace. The steel dust itself doesn't need that step, but it needs this step, the first step. And we want to remove the carbon, because we are going to have it anyway. Now we do the same for the enriched stuff, such as the enriched carbon and the enriched redstone. There we go. And I'm just going to put those in from over here. And here I'm looking at what we can make with redstone. And if you're wondering why we make enriched redstone and use redstone dust only gives me 10 millibuckets, while enriched gives me 80. So you always want to enrich it, because that's just an 8 times boost, basically. And it would be quite the waste to not do this. Now, in this post commentary, I just realized from a comment on, I believe, the last episode, or episode 5, maybe, that you can make steel blocks, I believe. So next time, I think I will actually put a pattern for steel blocks, just so I can get more easier. So anyway, moving on. Let's set up the patterns for the other stuff. Yep, just always remove the liquid, because we import it anyway. And it is the only way to get it, using the enrichment thing. So I don't even know why it puts that into the system. And here you can see I'm putting up or making a pattern for the ME requester, because the other one is full, and I want to keep the enriched redstone and the enriched carbon fully stocked always, so that I can always make enough steel or whatever else alloy stuff. So there we go. Now I believe what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the patterns in. I'm going to put one pattern in. And I didn't notice that the importer is actually not connected. I noticed that later. And there we go, it's CME requester. So now I take my enriched stuff that I want to keep stocked, and I keep it there. And it's going to autocraft, which I don't know why I didn't realize right there that I could just turn those off for now. So it is being made right now. Right there, as you can see. problem with that is that it's really slow. But we got some ultimate tier installers, which I tried to put in, but you need the tier before that for them to work, which I realized later. These installers basically allow you to upgrade the machine without having to break them and like um, use those to craft. And I'm also gonna want to make some energy upgrades, which I make the gold dust, and I want to request the infused alloy, 16 of that basically, because we need 2 of those and we want 8 upgrades, because that is the max, and I believe that gives you a 10 times efficiency bonus for the energy. So here I go. Figuring out how many I need, which I don't know why it's taking me so long, or maybe I was saying something. I'm not sure, to be honest. um, so there you go, 16. And I wanted to make glass too, but I'm out of crafting CPUs because of the enriched stuff taking up 2 CPUs, which I'm not a fan of. So I'll have to see what I do about that. And I believe here I try to put the upgrade in, and obviously it doesn't work. And auto eject wasn't on, so that was staying in, but now it's going out because I turned it on. So it is prioritizing the left metallurgic infuser for the carbon, so nothing's happening there. Yeah. So now I believe I look at the quest for some reason. I'm not going to set up the ore processing, by the way, because I don't need it. I believe my current stuff is fast enough. And here I'm thinking that I might want to do diamond upgrades, I think. Diamond seeds. So, because I'm starting to run low. And once I have the EMC going, I want to auto input the, or not the EMC, the ProjectE integration into ME2, AE2. Once I have that going, I want to import the Psycraft crystals. Also, another thing I cut out is that the dust sieve is basically now giving salt from Mekanism. And what I'm doing here, I'm explaining that next time I want to make the aluminium alloy, which shouldn't be too difficult. We're just gonna need some gold dust auto crafting setup. We're going to need nitro crystals and energetic alloy, which we can do with Ender IO. Then we need the Forbidden and Arcanus, which might be the most annoying because it requires us to make the Mundbeater dust, which needs fandom membranes, which we do have in our ProjectE. But we can't use that integrated right now, so we are going to have to just take those out. Polarizing soul sand for the solar infused thing shouldn't be a problem. And the the nitro crystals shouldn't be a problem either, as it's just redstone, a nether star, and the blaze crystal mesh block. And there we go. My alloys are not done. So that means I can make the 16 glass, which I require for the 8 speed upgrades. And here I'm just checking if that works, which I know it works. But, safety first, I suppose. And here I'm wondering. No, here I'm showing that you can make muffling upgrades or use that little icon up there to just mute the machines, because they're actually really annoying. So I basically make them very quiet, because I don't want to hear them the whole time. And here I notice that this import bus isn't connected, so nothing's happening. And I simply just put a Fluix cable there to connect it. And I struggle getting out of that hole, apparently. And here I make my energy upgrades, and I put all of them in with just a shift right click. And now I want to put in the tier installer, but it doesn't work obviously because you need the tier beforehand. Which I don't know why I thought I could just put it in, but the tier installer is very easy to make. So I make that and I put it into the machine, and it is now a basic enriching factory, which means it has 3 slots. And it should be going a lot more smoothly now. And here, what I do, I set my stock to 64. Don't forget to click the button, by the way, because it just resets. And here you can change how many it puts in at once. So I just changed it to 2. And I made the same mistake as before. And there you go. Very awesome. So now it'll do 2 redstone and 2 coal instead of just 1. Which should make it a little bit faster. And here I make another basic tier installer for, I believe, the redstone infuser. And I make another one which I don't use. And I make an advanced tier installer too. Yeah, I put that into the redstone one. And this goes into the enriching factory. And there you go. That is basically all for this episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. I know, very messy and very short compared to the other episodes. That is due to the fact that I cut out a lot from the messing around with applied E, and since I didn't really do anything, it was very boring basically. And hopefully I don't forget to unmute next time, because that's embarrassing. Yeah, that's basically all. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Next time I'll be doing a little more stuff than today. And I'll see you guys next time.